there everybody, I'm Roslyn. Welcome to Orkney and welcome to my first playthrough of a You Say Which Way adventure by B. Polly and D.M. Potter, it says on the spine. Oh, Blair Polly and D.M. Potter, it says on the front. So this is a compilation book. It has 3 of these in it. Between the Stars, Danger on Dolphin Island, and Secrets of Glass Mountain. They are choose your own adventure style. So they're branching narratives and there isn't any game system to explain or learn or keep track of. I am being warned here at the start to watch out for shape-shifting plants, smugglers, and those smelly morph rats, specifically. So I'll try and do that. Shape-shifting plants, smugglers, and those smelly morph rats. Weirdly specific. I'll say too that this was made in 2015. It was published by the Fairy Tale Factory, which is a New Zealand publisher I've not heard of. Is it a small press? That's why I'm mentioning this. That's just interesting. Okay, I think that's all the stuff at the start. There's quite a lot of narrative in this one, so if you're looking for an adventure where I'm making lots of choices, maybe go for a different video. But if you just like stories, maybe you like hearing my dulcet tones, I will just be reading this through, and it's got the occasional choice. So it's not just quite a straight up story all the way through, but we'll see. You are in a sleep tank on the spaceship Victoria. Your dreaming cap teaches you as you float. You first put on a dreaming cap when you did the space sleep test. Although you thought it looked like you had an octopus on your head, you didn't joke about it. Nobody did. Everyone wanted to pass the test and go to the stars. Passing meant a chance to get out of overcrowded Londinium. If you didn't pass, you'd likely be sent to a prison factory in northern Europa. Nobody wanted to go there. Even though Britannica hasn't been a good place lately, Europa was said to be worse. When the judge sentenced you to transportation for stealing that food, you sighed inside with relief. You knew transportation was the chance of a better life on a faraway planet, but only if you passed the sleep test. But I'm going there as a thief. This doesn't sound good. You lined up with other hopefuls and waded into a pool of warm sleep jelly. They were all young like you, and they all looked determined. Stay calm, the robot instructed. Breathe in slowly through your mouthpiece and relax. Nearby, a young woman struggled from the pool. She pulled out her breathing plug and gasped for breath. "Take her back," said a guard. You knew what that meant. Back to prison and then the factories. An older convict sneered at the poor girl, the cruel look on his face magnified by a scar running down one cheek. In your short time in prison, you had learned there were people who would have been criminals no matter what life they'd been born to. Something told you that he was one of them. You put him out of your mind and concentrated on doing what the robot said. You thought of the warm porridge you'd had every morning in the orphanage growing up. The sleeping jelly didn't seem so strange then. When your head was submerged, you breathed in slowly. As the jelly filled your lungs, You fought against thoughts of drowning. You'd listened at the demonstration and knew it was oxygenated. This must be what it's like to be a fish, you thought as you moved forward through the thick fluid. I only have to walk through to the other side. Closing your eyes, you moved forward through the thick warm jelly. Relax, you told yourself. You can do this. You opened your eyes just in time to see the scar-faced youth about to knock your breather off. Thankfully, the jelly slowed his punch and you ducked out of the way just in time. Then a moment later, you were on the other side being handed a towel. This one's a yes, intoned a man in a white coat. He slapped a bracelet on your wrist and sent you down a corridor away from your old life. As you exited, you just had time to hear the fate of the scar-faced youth. He'll do. Take him to the special room. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I think I'm glad I didn't go to the special room, but I don't know. Days of training followed. You often joined other groups of third-class passengers, but you didn't see Scarface among them. You passed all the tests, and then one day, you got into a sleep tank beside hundreds of others. Your dreaming cap would teach you everything you'd need to know in your new life. You were asleep when the Victoria was launched into space. You slept as the Victoria lost sight of the Earth and then its star, the sun. And here you are, years later, floating in sleep fluid and learning with your dreaming cap. Or you were, because now you hear music. Oxygen hisses into your sleeping chamber and the fluid you have been immersed in starts to drain away. Next time you surface, you'll breathe real air. Something that your lungs haven't done in a long time. I'm trying to see who's talking. Just a voice. It's not clear who the voice is, so I'll give it a voice. I think it's a person. Okay. Sleeper 1276, do you accept this mission? Sleeper, please engage if you wish to awaken for this mission. Sleeper, there are other suitable travellers for this mission. Do you choose to wake? Oh, I've had this explained. Right, I wasn't sure if this bit was being said too. No, it's explained now that passengers can sleep the entire journey if they want. I've clearly had this explained before I got in. They can arrive at the new planet without getting any older. First class passengers, it said I was third, so... Anyway, first class passengers will own land and riches when they arrive. Yeah, it's saying you are third class, you have nothing. Groggily you listen to the voice. If you choose to take on a mission, you can earn credit for the new planet, even freedom. That makes sense that I get there a slave, because I'm going from a prison. Anyway, I could arrive on the new planet too old to ever use your freedom, though. Sleeper, do you accept the mission? Right, got it. It's time to make your first decision. Do you want to wake up and undertake a mission? I don't know what these involve. Or do you want to wait for another mission or to land on the new planet? I feel like having a snooze isn't a good idea, but I'm going to go the snoozing option here. We get more missions. This isn't the only one. Do we get a lot of missions? I don't know. Maybe it's explained more if I get another one? It's all very weird, right? I'm not waking up and undertaking a mission. That sounds bizarre and terrifying. All of this sounds bizarre and terrifying already. Ooh, is this such a bad idea, though? I feel like just having a snooze. How can this be good? I'm going to wait for another mission and snooze, I assume? Okay, page 84 we're on. Okay. You don't know if months or many years have passed before you hear another voice asking you to wake. Sleeper, do you want to wake up? You don't have to wake. You can keep sleeping. It's now explaining again. You are such a good sleeper. You vaguely remember something about a spaceship? About travelling somewhere. That's it, you're on the spaceship Victoria. Yeah, you're travelling a long way away on an adventure. One day you'll get to a new planet. Maybe you're already there. Sleeper, do you want to wake up? That's right, you can choose to wake up on the way. You can have adventures. But if you stay awake too long, you'll be old when you get to the new planet or never get there at all. You won't get to spend your life exploring it. You need to choose. What bizarre... Wake up or stay asleep? This is such a bad idea. I'm going to carry on snoozing. What? This can't be good. Go back to sleep again, says the header. This isn't going to be a good ending, is it? Let's see what happens. You have chosen to sleep again. Sleep is so wonderful. Who would want to be awake when you can stay in blissful sleep? In your dreams, your sleep chamber is moved to a new location and you dream of having the option to work on a new planet or to stay sleeping. Sleep is so good, so comfortable. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. In your dreams, you're working in a mine. You're always tired. It seems odd that you keep dreaming of mining. Shouldn't you be learning new things while you sleep? Because I had the learning cap on, right? Next to you is another miner. He's very old. Oh, it's odd you are dreaming of older people when sleeping chambers preserve you in sleep. Next to you, the old miner staggers and sways with fatigue. Rest, you say, but he doesn't hear you. This is all getting very creepy. Is this a horror book? Oh my days. You put out your hand to steady him as he sways again and look around. You're deep in a mine shaft surrounded by other miners. They are all old, like the miner next to you. There are old men and old women chipping away at a large seam of coal. The old man sits down. He's had it. A robot comes down a railway line with a cart. It gently lifts the miner into the cart and starts to take him away. Where are you taking him? You ask. The robot pauses and turns to scan you. Did you do the right thing, asking the robot about the old man? Are you awake? The robot asks. You think about the robot's question. Surely this is a dream, but then maybe it isn't. It seems very odd that someone in a dream would ask you if you were awake. How do you answer a question you're not sure of? I just have a couple of questions here. Choices, I should say. Yeah, tell the robot you're awake. Tell the robot you're asleep. I don't know if it's a trick question, everyone. The robot knows if I'm awake or asleep already. It doesn't know whether I'm awake. Is it a variant of the earlier question? I think sleeping's an awful idea. Look at the state of this. I'm doing the sleeping option, but I really don't want to keep on with this. It's so creepy. I'm gonna tell the robot I'm awake. I'm awake. I am awake, because I'm noticing everything. I'm definitely awake, right? This isn't a dream. I think it's like the previous question, do you want to wake up? And this is all getting a bit much. I'm awake. What now? You decide to tell the robot you're awake, says the heading. Yes, I'm awake, you say, stepping forward and staring into the robot's scanner. It pauses and relays information back to the central computer. Oh, here we go. Sleeper, do you want to be awake? Asks the robot. I think I do. You think about all the time you might have spent sleeping, the times you have had opportunities to wake and didn't. It's time to get on with your life. Yes, you say. This is so much, this book, wow. Yes, you say. I want to be awake. Ew, the robot sprays you in the face with a sharp smelling vapour. Your knees buckle and you fall backwards into another card. This is all horrible. Okay, you follow behind the old miner, being carted up the railway tracks to the surface. On the way up, you see old miners sitting in carts. As they are wheeled down, they have a vacant expression on their faces. They don't seem unhappy, more like they're dreaming. The walls begin to appear as natural light filters down from above. Tracks lead up towards a round circle of light. The increased light hurts your eyes. You come out squinting to an alien landscape. The sky is a funny sort of purple, and large red bats glide across the sky. Oh, because we're on the way to an alien planet, weren't we? Eh? And time has passed, Anyway, as the smell of coal and grease and steam from the tunnel fade, you start to smell other things. The air is very different to the air on Earth and to the sterile air of the spaceship. Your little cart is still being pushed along by the robot. You enter a building and a man in a suit with a top hat greets you. He has a handlebar moustache and, at about 40, is the youngest person you've seen today. Oh! You must be the sleeper who's decided to wake up, he cries and shakes your hand. Welcome to Victorious. Welcome to our utopia. Oh, I'm one of the great-grandchildren of the original settlers. They broke in the land here and started the coal mines. He babbles on, enthusiastically talking of the settlement of the planet, but you aren't listening. You've caught sight of your reflection in the window. You see an old face and grey hair. Slowly, you look down to your wrinkled and liver-spotted hands. Old hands. He is still talking. And then many of the sleepers said, well, they didn't want to wake up. Well, it seems you got used to sleeping and preferred it. Well, at first we let people sleep on in the cryo chambers, but then, well, my grandpa had the bright idea to get some labour in exchange for all his sleep, Ken. So unfortunately, while he is sleep-working, Ken, your body does age. But you'll be pleased to ken that while you've been mining here, you have cleared your debt, you've worked off your sentence, and made some savings. So, we've saved your money prudently. Aye, you now have enough set aside to retire. Aye. You look out of the window. There's a new world beyond the mining works. Huge birds circle mountains carpeted in strange plants. There will be rivers nobody has ever travelled, and new animals and so much more to explore. You don't have much time left, but you want to see as much of it as you can. Well, dang. It just says I've reached the end of this branch of the story, but there's loads of story left. Yeah. Diggity dang. Well, that was really good. I hope you've enjoyed my first full playthrough of Between the Stars. I have. That was really good. Wow. Yeah. So this has 3 of these books, and there are going to be lots of adventures in each. It's a big chonking big book. There are apparently lots of You Say Which Way books. And you know what? A whole bunch of these are available on Kindle Unlimited without any extra cost. I had noticed before. I'm doing these though for now. I reckon. At whatever pace I get them done, I feel like. That was fabulous though, and I do want to do another playthrough of that, certainly. Wow. Brilliant. That, again, was Between the Stars by Blair Polly and D.M. Porter. And I have been Rosalind, and this has been Orkney. And you've been a lovely audience, and I will say toodaloo the no to you. I hope to see you for another playthrough soon. Bye!